Good evening and welcome to my page. So this evening we are continuing to work on the 2015 Expedition EL Limited 4x4. So this evening we are going to work on removing the coil over shock assembly on the rear of the vehicle. After referencing the book, Chilton's is the one that I use, it says to remove the lower control arm, which is here, by removing these two bolts, 1 and 2, on the bottom side. They're both 15 millimeters. They're on there pretty snug, so you're going to need a larger, I'm going to use a 1/2 inch ratchet with socket to go ahead and break them loose. And it says to remove the sway suspension right here. This also is a 15 millimeter. Now you will have to hold the back side here in between the bushing and the bracket on the knuckle, and that is a 17 millimeter. So once we get both of those off, we'll move around to the back. I always like to remove the brake line. We're going to remove this. This is a 10 millimeter here. We're going to remove the brake caliper. Both of these, it's just common brake caliper stuff. We're going to go ahead and pull those off. These are hex. So for this one, we will be using the, I believe it's the, I know, this says 7, so it's going to be using a number 7 hex to remove the 2 bolts from the rear of the caliper. Now you do have to take these 2 brake dust caps off the back of it to remove those. But we're going to remove that, and of course we're going to hang that so that it doesn't have any pressure. So once we do all that, we should be able to remove the 3 bolts that are on top and the 1 bolt that's on the bottom. The 3 bolts that are on top are all 15 millimeters. This is a 30 millimeter nut. The bolt on the other side is a 27 millimeter. I don't have a 27 millimeter wrench, so I will be using the crescent wrench that you see there. Well, with no further ado, we will go ahead and get started. Removing both of the dust caps. I've already done the other side of this vehicle. Pretty confident this will go pretty smooth. However, I will warn you that getting this coil over shock out from between the trail arm on the bottom and the shock tower on the top is no easy feat. On the other side, man, it was really difficult, but I did get it out. Now if you've seen my other video, I've already replaced the front shocks, coilover springs, struts on this vehicle. Well, on the front they were leaking, so I just went ahead and cut them off to be done with it, because the front are quite difficult as well. You basically have to take the entire knuckle off. These, it says you can take this lower arm off, this trail arm. However, I attempted to do that but I did it on the frame side, not this rear knuckle side. And well, my normal residential compressor only has about 135 psi, and that was not enough to move the bolt or the nut where it connects to the frame. So I don't know what the pressure is there, but man, it's a lot. No big deal. We don't have to have that off. So next, we'll be removing the lower control arm. There are two bolts on the bottom side